What is up? In this video, I'm going to walk through the 4 daily tasks that you need to do if you want to consistently land B2B customers on LinkedIn. So I just got off the phone to a person earlier on, and I've actually had a lot of conversations with people like this recently where they're just doing one of these 4. So they're either doing lots of comments and then hoping that people are going to, somehow become their customer, or they're just posting content and they're not doing any outreach with it, or they're just doing outreach and they're not doing any content to build trust, or maybe they're doing 2 of the 3, or a lot of people aren't doing lead magnets because they don't know how. What I found is that the ideal mix is to be doing all 4 at one time, and you can highly systemize all of this. So I'll talk you through that basically one by one. So with the outreach, there's 2 types. There's cold and warm. So warm outreach is where you basically reach out warm to people who have engaged with your profile in some way. So they viewed your profile, they followed you there, gave you a connection request, whatever that might be. This is a one and done setup. There's no excuse not to be doing it. Actually, it takes half an hour to set these campaigns up. You can use tools like Expandy automations. I'm sure there are others as well, but Expandy is the one I use. What this does is it saves you so much time in the sense that you don't have to be actively going out and reaching, checking who viewed your profile and then seeing if they're qualified and then messaging them. This automation does all that for you. So what that results in is when you do a good post, it starts conversations and gets people into your DMs, the right people, and it's targeted and qualified. So you're speaking to the right people, and it does that on autopilot. That's the first part. Second part then is cold outreach. That's the other type of outreach. So again, it's not good enough just to rely on content, because you have to remember if you only have 2,000 or 3,000 followers, your sphere of influence is so small compared to what it could be. So you want to be reaching out cold to people. My go-to cold outreach that I do to people is that I do for and with people is I help them create like a how-to post. So for me, it could be like how to get customers on LinkedIn. For a CFO, it could be like how to structure your business so that you can get funding. I help them create a LinkedIn post about that with a video on the bottom, and then we leverage that in the cold outreach. So an outreach message might go out to their ideal customer if it was the CFO and go, hey, we just helped another company in your niche to raise $10 million using our financial systems. That's bad copy, but something like that. Would you like me to share a video of how we did it? And if they say yes, then that's, again, someone else in your DMs who you can talk to and move them down towards becoming a sale. Then there's probably the most beneficial content lever of them all is your content, because that's what's going to build the trust. You can do outreach, but the returns are going to be relatively limited because you can only do, say, 200 connection requests per week. When you do content and it goes well, you can get thousands of people. I've had days where 5,000 people followed me. I had one day where over 5,000 people followed me, and that massively expanded my reach, and all those people are in my network going forward. So it's just exponentially better when you get it right. And then pair that with the warm outreach, and you suddenly are generating like a lot of conversations from your ideal customers when you're doing these 2 things right. Obviously, the assumption is you're posting good content and you've set up the warm outreach campaigns properly. That's lever number 2, or daily task number 2. So I'd suggest, again, outreach shouldn't take any of your time on a daily basis because it can be automated and set up. Say around 1 hour a month, I would allow for this, or maybe 2 hours a month. Daily content, I suggest batching it and doing it weekly. However, if you're to break it down into days, you could allow 15 to 20 minutes per post, including a video or whatever's going to go with it. That's using AI to speed up the process and obviously having an easy system in place. I've seen some people it takes 3 hours, and in a lot of cases that's not necessary. It's just because they don't have the tools to do it faster, or they need to do more reps to get used to it. But 15 to 20 minutes is a good time per post once you have a good system in place. Next is I'll talk about engagement next. So it can be a time consuming but necessary part of what you're doing. So in some cases, what I suggest people do is have someone, say if it's a CEO or someone who's kind of stuck for time, I would suggest having someone on their team do the engagement for them. So You just need to get 20 to 30 comments out per day, because again, it just expands your reach. It's so much cheaper than doing paid ads, and you don't get as good a result, but relative to the cost, the returns are very good on that time, on that resource input. So 20 to 30 comments a day to a mixture of your ideal customers, to a mixture of just bigger kind of accounts also, and then to your competitors as well, because they're most likely to re-engage back with you, and then your content grows as a result of that. Another one, it's a bit more of an advanced tactic, and I would suggest doing it every 2 weeks, having a lead magnet where you show people that you have something, and then you ask them to DM you to get it, or even to comment below to get it. You can go kind of either way with that, but you want to be showing that you're creating assets and creating value that you can give away to people, and then loading up those with social proof and reasons why you can be trusted in what you're doing. If you're pulling all 4 of these levers and doing all 4 of these every day, again, lead magnets can be spread out, but I'm more talking about the DMs, you're going to end up with lots and lots of conversations with your ideal customers, because the results from what you do on LinkedIn, especially when we're talking about content, they compound over time. I.e., at the start, maybe where you are now, it might feel like you're doing loads of work and not getting anything out of it, and that will be the case at the start. And if you don't have good systems in place, that might last for a long time, a year, 2 years, before you actually start to see anything out of it. But if you start right, you have good systems in place, you're following a plan like the one you're looking at here, for example, the results start to compound very fast, and all of a sudden you're getting 10, 15, 20 conversations with your ideal customers every day. I have probably over 30 active conversations with people who are a fit for what I sell every day minimum. And just with those volumes, no matter how bad I am at selling, it's impossible for me not to succeed. And yes, it took me time to get here, and yes, it wasn't always like that at the start. But once you have the system in place, it becomes a lot easier to do these things. And then you just get in the process of, okay, how to run the DM conversation quickly. Even how to outsource it to someone on your team is always an option as well. How to turn those conversations into sales calls, how to improve that sales process to make it easier for you to close deals, and then how to pull out social proof and reuse that in your content, because that's really fuel on the fire of attracting more people, because people want to see the things that you're doing, who you're doing them with, and they want proof that you're going to do as you say you do. So the best way to do that is to show up every day with content in front of them, and then speak to them with your warm outreach, and do the cold outreach, and do the engagement, and do weekly lead magnets. If you want to ensure that you don't fail on LinkedIn, do these 4 things every day, and I guarantee you'll be consistently getting inbound leads and customers, no matter what niche you're in. But if you need help putting a system like this together, DM me. I'll see if I'm a good fit. I'll ask you a couple of questions to see if I'm a good fit to help you. Or if you want to go on my website, I have a 7-day trial for $1 that goes through all this in a bit more detail. So click that link, have a look inside, see if it's a good fit for you, and we can take it from there. So thanks for watching.